Welcome back everyone to ZONEofTECH News, the coolest tech show on the planet. Definitely. This is the series in which I talk about everything interesting that happened in the world of tech over the past week. Basically stuff that I don't really get a chance to talk about in a separate video gets put together alongside different topics into this one. And this week was crazy. We had the Apple event on Monday, which was really weird. We had an actual chicken on stage, kinda. Yeah, it was really weird. And then we had the AirPods 2 released actually this week. We had the brand new iPad mini 5 and the iPad Air 3 released as well. Speaking of the new iPads, we just got these delivered today, the iPad Air 3 and the mini 5. So I'll be testing these over the weekend, so expect some videos next week covering my 72-hour or even more than that experience. And also guys, the AirPods 2 giveaway is still going, so if you want to win a pair of AirPods 2 with a wireless charging case, just be a subscriber of the channel and then also follow on Instagram at ZONEofTECH and leave a comment on this post, the one with the AirPods render, saying why would you want to win the second generation AirPods, and I'll be announcing the winners, actually the winner, there's only one at the moment, on April the 23rd via Instagram, DM, and story. But until then, here's everything interesting that happened in the world of tech this week, including that big iPhone 2019 leak. If you want to browse privately and securely and also access things such as Netflix US from outside the US, check out PrivateInternetAccess, our sponsor for this video. Use the link in the description to sign up for as little as $3.5 a month. Okay, so first things first, the iPhone 2019 got leaked. So we had this image that was posted by /leaks showing the schematics of an unreleased iPhone, allegedly the 2019 iPhone 11. And what's really interesting here is actually the camera layout. So we seem to have not one, not two, not three, not four, but actually 5 cutouts where the camera might be. This actually lines up perfectly with ZONEofTECH's render from a while ago that showed off that squared off camera module with 3 lenses and then the flash on the top and then the microphone on the bottom right. It's a really odd and ugly setup, to be honest. So we've actually made our own render based on this and moved the flash to be in the middle so that it not only looks better, but it's also more functional. You know, by having the flash at an equal distance from all the lenses means that the light output would be identical no matter which lens module you're actually using. I really don't know why Apple would move it to the top right, unless the wide-angle lens is so wide that it would actually capture the light flare from the flash when it's being used. So that would be my only guess. And in that case, you know, they want to move it as further away from the wide-angle module as possible, which means that in that case, the wide-angle module would actually be the one on the very left. And then MacBook posted their own render of the iPhone 11 showing a very similar style with that squared-off module, but in their render, the lenses all seem to be symmetrical. I do like this one much more, but the ZONEofTECH's one does match up with the schematic that we've seen, so it's very likely that the ZONEofTECH's render is more accurate than what MacBook posted. But I do expect a full video on all the new iPhone leaks and rumors pretty soon, so subscribe and notifications if you want to see that as soon as it comes out. Now, the second biggest thing that happened this week, or actually the biggest thing, way more important than the iPhone one, is Article 13. If you guys remember that. It got passed. Not even joking, Article 13 has now been fully approved. So all the protests, all that hashtag save your internet, basically meant nothing for the European Parliament MPs who voted for Article 13 to pass without any further amendments. And here's the thing, there was actually an amendment vote basically voting on if they wanted to, you know, make some changes to the current Article 13, and there was only a difference of 5 people that voted against it. So the amendment got rejected, unfortunately. But what's insane is that it turns out 2 of those people out of those 5, they actually pressed the wrong button when they voted, not even joking. Yes, and the votes cannot be changed. And then a few more European MPs have come forward saying that they too voted incorrectly because they weren't even sure what they were voting for. I really don't know what to say, guys. I'm not sure if I should be upset or amused by their stupidity. It's crazy. And in case you don't know what Article 13 is, I've done, I believe, 2 videos on that. Definitely check those out. But long story short, it's a law that states that every single content that gets uploaded, basically anywhere, needs a license, a copyright license from the owner. So this means that YouTube will be directly responsible if you upload a video that has, I don't know, an image showing a BMW car or whatever. You need the license for that. So long story short, we won't be able to upload anything unless it's a vlog of just yourself. But then at the same time, I have those plants in the background. So do I need the license for those? Maybe. And the thing is that this is a huge problem. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, they could block all the content coming from independent creators. And, you know, you'll be left with just BBC News, CNN, And that's pretty much it. Now, the not so bad news is that countries would still need to implement Article 13 directly by themselves. So, some countries might still refuse to apply it fully, at least. Okay, so what happens if it does get approved by all the countries and this does happen? You won't be able to watch any YouTube, any Facebook, pretty much everything would be mostly blocked, aside from authorized sources. And even though that will be the case, there is a way to kind of bypass that. And I'm not even joking, you can basically use a VPN, such as PrivateInternetAccess, our sponsor for this video. So if you're not familiar with a VPN, it's basically a virtual private network, that's what it stands for, and it basically bounces your connection off of different servers. So it not only makes your connection private and secure, which is really useful, especially if you use public Wi-Fi a lot, like hotel Wi-Fis, cafe Wi-Fis, and stuff like that. It's also almost impossible to track, and you can also browse the internet from any other country, such as US, Japan, and almost anywhere in the world you want, and you can access region-locked websites and services from those regions, like Netflix US, for example. Use the link in the description to get private internet access for as low as $3.5 a month, which is actually the equivalent of a cup of coffee here in the UK. Okay, next up, some updates on the MacBook Pro keyboard. So if you have a MacBook Pro, a new MacBook Pro from 2016 or newer, you probably know that a keyboard is not that great. And you know how Apple actually released the repair program for the 2016 and 2017 MacBook Pros. They haven't really listed the 2018 ones because those were a bit improved. And Apple has actually apologized publicly. Yes, Apple has apologized publicly for this, the 2018 MacBook Pro keyboards being broken. Yeah, they issued the same. A small number of users of the 2018 MacBook Pro are still experiencing issues with a keyboard. Yeah, they're playing that small number of users card again. They've literally done this whenever they admitted to a flaw. Like every single time it was just, a small number of users. Just pretty much almost everyone that has a MacBook Pro, to be honest. Okay, so in my case, I had a 2016 MacBook Pro, which was awful. That thing, the keyboard failed twice. The speakers also failed twice. I had some GPU issues. It was making those popping noises. It was really bad. It was the worst product that I've ever had. Not even exaggerating in terms of the build quality. It was horrible. So after a lot of repairs, Apple finally upgraded that to a 2017 MacBook Pro. It wasn't really the top-end configuration that I had with my 2016. It was just a almost top-end 2017. But yeah, the 2017 was actually perfect. I've never had any issues with that. And then I got a 2018 one to test, and the 2018 one was even better than the 2017 one. So yeah, in terms of the keyboard, no issues with my 2017 or 2018, which does feel much better when it comes to typing. Now, I've actually seen some rumors that Apple's working on a redesigned 2019 MacBook Pro, especially the 15-inch that's going to become a 16-inch MacBook Pro. Check out this video, by the way, with our concept and everything you need to know about that. But that MacBook might actually come with a redesigned keyboard from scratch. Really hope that that's the case. Aside from this, something really cool happened this week in terms of the Apple Watch. So Apple released the watchOS 5.2 update, which enables the ECG meter outside of the US. So now it works in Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Guam, Hong Kong, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, Puerto Rico, Romania. Yes, works in Romania as well. Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, UK, and it still works in the US and US Virgin Islands. So if you have an Apple Watch Series 4, honestly try this out. It's a really useful feature, and it can also save your life, realistically. And aside from this, something also interesting that happened in terms of Apple, is that the PowerBeats Pro got leaked in iOS 12.2. So the PowerBeats Pro are made by Beats, which is now owned by Apple. So you could say that these are actually made by Apple. So Apple bought Beats because they wanted to focus more on music, and also they wanted their audio engineers to work on their own headphones, such as the AirPods. So chances are that the engineers that worked on the AirPods are also working on the Beats headphones. So the PowerBeats Pro are said to come with the H1 chip, fully wireless, so no cable in between, nothing. They would come in black, the AirPods don't, and the sound quality would be better than the AirPods too. Not sure about wireless charging on the case, probably not, but they would be water resistant, especially when it comes to, at least when it comes to splashes. So if you want to use those in the gym or even next to a pool, you can do that, probably not in the pool. And the battery life might be even better than the AirPods because the previous generation had 12 hours, so these ones might have something like 8, considering that, they're fully wireless. So yeah, there you go. That's a pretty good alternative to the AirPods. I'll definitely give them a try. yeah, they might be the AirPods killer, to be honest. But yeah, there you go. These were this week's stories. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, and also what else do you want to see covered in ZONEofTECH news. Don't forget about that AirPods 2 giveaway. Just be a subscriber of the channel and follow on Instagram at ZONEofTECH, and leave a comment on this post saying why would you want to win the AirPods 2 with a wireless charging case, and I'll be announcing the winners on April the 23rd. But yeah, do expect some iPad Air 3 and iPad mini 5 coverage next week. Let me know also in the comments and also in this poll, hopefully you can see it, hopefully, which one do you want to see first? iPad mini 5 or iPad Air 3? But yeah, this is pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'm Daniel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.